Woodmaster installation part 2. Yeah, the part that I'm not looking forward to. But you'll see why in just a second. So we have a long house with a large living room in the middle. We got two 100,000 BTU heat pumps. One at the bedroom end, servicing the bathrooms and the bedrooms, and two outlets, i.e. half of the living room. Sorry for the wind noise, we've suddenly picked up a lot of wind. And we have another 100,000 BTU at the other end of the house. So our plan is that since the 360,000 that can come out of the furnace is way more than needed, even with inefficiencies such as water flow and airflow through the heat exchanger. If I got a couple of 100,000 out of this heat exchanger, it would still be way more than needed. So I'll probably put a second one in the unit that services the bedrooms later. But for now, I'm going to put it in here. And I got to get through and see what I'm facing to physically install it at the air handler. It can go in either the supply or return duct. It makes little difference. The only difference is that if you put it in the return duct, you're then blowing warm air or potentially hot air across the fan motor, and fan motors apparently don't like to be too warm, which I don't really believe, because in all honesty, if you had your house at 80, you'd have 80-degree air flowing over it because it's a closed loop system. If I'm generating, 90 or 100, I don't think the fan motor would care. But we will see. I'm going to try and put it in the after the fan, and if I can't, I'll put it in the return side. But first thing I've got to do is get under there, see what I'm facing. Occasionally my memory serves me badly, and I'm pleasantly surprised. I don't know why I remembered this being so restrictive, but it isn't. I've got a light that is serviceable, I think. Got the return air right there, which means I could put it in the return air. And I've got the feed side right there, which is possible too. So I've got to measure a few things, get in there and take a look. My guess is that I'm going to cut out the feed end, which is right there, and see if I can mount it physically in that. Yeah, interesting. I do have to go through there and pull the pipework up this end of the house, see if it's long enough, etc. But it should be. And let's take a look. So the good news is I've got 21 by 22, and when I actually get it off, I might find I have a little more that comes out as a square duct and transitions to a square duct. So the metal work will be easier. I'm going to cut all this insulation off in a minute and see what I actually have. But I'm sure I'm going to fit it here at this end. So I've got to go down there and find where the pipe is coming in. I have 75 feet inside the house somewhere, so I'm hoping that's sufficient to find it, to pull it up here. So I'm going to pull the pipe up first, go outside, grab a knife, come back in, clean this insulation up. Well, I got some good news and some bad news, right? So the good news is, well, actually I'm struggling to see what the good news is right now. All right, so the good news is there is a flex coupling at this end, which I can use to clean it, to remove the duct without battling with this. The other good news is I did come down here in time to notice that the air handler is about to fall on the floor, tear itself off the ductwork and lose all of our HVAC, and bust the pipes, most likely as well. So very good timing on that. I need to get something to block it up and support it, which I can do. So next phase is to remove this plenum, remove the end cover, cut the end cover to the right size, and start looking at how I can fabricate the metalwork around it. The supply water lines came to about the midpoint of the house. I got at least another 50 feet, so I'm going to have to get some more pipe, non-insulated, and then insulate it myself, because I don't have time to wait for shipping and to pay the extra. I got it from Abbott Furnace Supplies, good price, $6.50 a foot. Bought 175 feet so that the shipping would be free. But if I buy another 50 feet, the shipping is not free, and the shipping is $250. So it's worth buying from them one time, everything that you need. It is not worth buying the incremental extra. So I'll go down to Lowe's and get some 1-inch pegs. Need to go down there to get the fittings anyway. And the metalwork for this new plenum I have to build. So I've got to cut this one out, see what size I need, start building the new one in. Alright, so back underneath. I need another 40-foot extension of my fabricated hot water pipe, so now I know what to do with that. There's the end of the air handler all cleaned up. That's my 21 by 20. And then I have to get over here to my, what looks like a 14 by 20. So I'm going to hang the unit here and then fabricate between the unit and the duct. So it'll come straight out at first, and then it'll have to jog over and angle over. So this is the heat exchanger that I bought with the furnace. It's 20 inches by 18, has a metal frame. I'm guessing it's designed to slide into a unit that receives it, but I've had to manufacture something to convert it to fit the end of my air handler. I'll have to manufacture something to match up to the ductwork as well. My air handler is 21 by 20, so I've just had to make an aluminum cone. Sorry, not aluminum cone, sheet metal cone with aluminum angle iron. So this should slide onto the end of my air handler, and I should be able to screw it in place. But the air handler is stripped apart. I needed a break, so I came outside to do this just to get away from the filth, and well, you know what it's like, crawl space work. So I'm going to take this under and see if it fits and measure the pipe length that I need to hook this up. I'm happy with most of it, but I do have one problem. So it will fit. I've just got to squidge it up to that flange and screw it in. But the pipe work is in the way, and this pipe work is in order to be able to bypass the radiator or heat exchanger. So I'm going to cut those pipes off so that I can get rid of the complexity that I'm facing there, and it should be good. Don't have much pipe there at the top though to fit the fitting. I may have to unsweat that. I won't be able to I don't want to unsweat it. Yeah, so that's not going to be easy. I need to think about this, because I have a choice between removing all those pipes and dealing with that issue, or popping the unit back out and reversing the plenum so that this pipe work is on the opposite side, which I think I would rather do. But let me give it some thought and make a decision. So I decided to flip the plenum, because that would take 10 minutes, and I did not want to desolder the pipes on that other side. I do not want that bypass. I don't like it, but not much I can do about it. So I'm going to cut them and fit them more correctly when I come to plumb it in. But for now they can stay. So the plenum's screwed in on this side. I know it fits. I've got to screw it all the way around, and that's the new heat exchanger attached to the air handler. I've then got to build a box that comes across over to here, and I'll do it one piece at a time, and that should work. I'm glad I did what I did, because it's coming together nicely. So we've got an 18 by 21 heat exchanger, a 20 by 21 opening to the end of the air handler, and then we've got a 12 by 20 that's offset, but it expands and then contracts again after it goes through the heat exchanger, which is exactly what I want. The airflow will slow down just a little bit, get some good thermal exchange, and then speed up again as it goes through the ductwork into the house. So I'll put these last two panels on, tape it up, insulate it, and that is mechanically complete. So mechanically it's finished. Both tapers are done. It's all mounted. I got to insulate it now and connect the water up. I think I'll insulate today, but I'll leave the water for another day. I've still yet to assemble the feed pipe that comes to it. So this is the outside of the house. So this is the inside of the house. All neat and finished. So from a valve perspective, I need to be able to bypass this heat exchanger from hot water back in where the hot water comes under the house, still let it flow to the water heaters, so that even in the summertime we can have a fire and have free hot water. But I want to be able to switch between hot water and cold water for the geothermal ground loop that's going over this side of the over the other side of the house. So this will be changed. The valves are not right. This is just what was on it. So I will hook the plumbing up, probably not today and not tomorrow. I'll do that early part of the week. So it is 1:30 on day 2, and mechanically it's finished. It'll take me about half an hour to insulate, and that is then done. So that is going to be both geothermal heat and cool if we want to use it, or just geothermal cool and external wood furnace heat. Plus the regular HVAC system can work in unison with either or none. So this is like the ultimate free heat and cool system. We'll have to wait until the summer to understand how good it is at cooling, but we will soon know, because the temperatures are dropping into the 30s in the next few days. So we'll soon know at night how much heat this provides. But that is done mechanically, and I'm just going to get on with insulation and call it a day.